Thank you for joining me on this Sunday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. An important update here because this is now potential Cyclone 15, which means it's going to become a classified system. It's not going to the Virgin Islands. It is not going to Puerto Rico. It'll stay south of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. I like to tell you where things are going, but also where they're not going because, of course, a lot of concern with these systems, and I don't want to raise unnecessary alarms. But let me show you what we have and how it stands now. Everything on track from what we've been talking about really for the past week. Thank you for being part of this channel and sharing it with your friends and family. This will move mainly to the south of Jamaica, but we could have some flooding rain in Jamaica and then working its way into Belize and Northern Honduras as a hurricane by the time we get into Wednesday into Thursday. So potential of a hurricane in Belize and Northern Honduras, where we need to start making those hurricane preparations now so we're fully prepared for what's going to happen as we go throughout the week. Now, watches have been posted. Jamaica, tropical storm watches are up. Cayman Islands, just Grand Cayman, because most of it will be to the south. Little Cayman, for example, no watches or warnings have been issued. Now, as far as the winds go, we're going to see some gustier winds working into Jamaica tomorrow, and then again even on Tuesday, and then looking at starting Wednesday, and then throughout Wednesday night and Thursday, Belize and Honduras. I'll show you that more so in the model. I know that graphic's a little bit crazy. The orange in the middle of your screen, that's almost a 100% chance of tropical storm force winds, but that is south of Jamaica, so we won't get sustained tropical storm conditions in Jamaica, but those rain bands will be a big concern because if we get some good rain bands, bad rain bands working, I should say, you know what I mean, that could lead to some flooding, and that's always a concern with this. If you get stuck in one of those rain bands, could get several inches of rain, 150 millimeters of rain, so monitoring that. All right, models in consistent agreement taking this to the west. That's because high pressure is locked in to the north. Nothing is jogging this to the north. Center stays south of Jamaica, then works its way into Belize and Northern Honduras. So again, mainly most of the action south of Jamaica as this system will be developing into Tropical Storm Lisa, and then eventually potentially a hurricane moving into Belize and Northern Honduras Wednesday into Thursday. With that said, watching the rain bands in Jamaica first, may get a couple of those rain bands trying to sneak into Grand Cayman, but a lot of this staying to the south. And you see it here. Here's the model. Time frame, top left-hand corner of your screen. This is tomorrow morning. Here's the system we're watching, developing into a tropical storm. Hopefully it doesn't, but either way, we got some big weather moving in. And back behind it, that's not related to the system, but a lot of moisture still watching Guyana, Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados, for example. All right, let me move you forward. This is by Tuesday morning. So you get a look here, Cayman Islands here, and you see it all to the south, Jamaica here. The core of this system would be to the south, but still kind of a wait and see how much rain sneaks in for us in Jamaica. So we're going to be right on the edge of it. I don't see any major system working into Jamaica because, again, it'll be mainly to the south, but I am concerned with the flooding. And then this is by Wednesday morning. Conditions will have already gone downhill in parts of coastal Honduras. Look at some of the wraparound moisture, though, that will even feed in on Wednesday to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. That's why I mentioned the flooding, but the core of the system moving into Honduras on Wednesday, Northern Honduras, not the entire country, and then working its way toward Belize and still Northern Honduras by the time we get into Thursday. So Wednesday night and Thursday, where it could wrap up into a hurricane. And that could give us some wind damage in spots, especially, of course, coastal sections, the coastal flooding and the inland flooding. And I'll keep an eye on Guatemala and El Salvador down the road for some of that rain working in. And then a secondary low may develop near Colombia and kind of work to the north. So a lot going on as we get into the month of November in the Caribbean. The season's going out with a bang, unfortunately. All right, Jamaica again. This, as it develops into a tropical storm, heaviest to the south. We could see 75 millimeters or 3 inches of rain or higher. But it's all a kind of a wait and see as far as those rain bands. So I'll be watching it for you. I'll give you those updates. Just prep for some flooding, especially along our southern coastline and coastal flooding, because there'll be a bit of a surge as we get into, say, White House Treasure Beach, for example. Moran Bay, we'll see that surge that will be picking up and again over toward Kingston. But the heaviest weather will work its way to Belize and Honduras. Wednesday night and Thursday, winds Northern Honduras into Belize. And again, a lot of these areas still Nicaragua, watching in case it drifts to the south, Mexico as well, northern Mexico by the Yucatan. But northern Honduras and Belize, winds 80 miles per hour, 130 kilometers an hour, and that could provide some of that wind damage in spots, and of course the flooding with that rain working in. So I'm going to monitor that. Next name on the list is Lisa. So I wanted to give you that update. The system is now developing, and I'll continue to give you the very latest. Thank you for sharing this with friends and family. I'll do everything I can to stay on top of this for you. Do this channel for safety. Thank you for being part of this weather community.